Godzilla, huh? Okay, let me see what you made.
This is Rides96, and today we have a special impromptu video. I was not expecting to find these guys at my local Target, but strolling in there, I did happen to fall upon these two guys, and these are the new Playmates Jet Jaguar and Burning Godzilla that were just released this week. And I'm lucky enough to both have them in the hand, and I haven't done one of these in a while, so please bear with me, but I will be doing a figure review on both of them together in this same video. I'll be giving the pros and the cons of both of these Playmates figures and tell you if you should buy them. But first, this is the Burning Godzilla, the Godzilla 1995, which it says on the back of the box right there, along with many, many Burning Godzillas that have been released here in the United States. You know, I was kind of on the figure before I got it in hand. The back of the box, he does not look too flattering. So this is a 6-inch scale for the Playmates series. Already came with the Space Godzilla and Godzilla Final Wars, along with a Kong Skull Island and some Godzilla vs. Kong figures. You can currently find them at Target, and they're $12.99, which isn't too bad, but we'll talk about if you should actually get both of them or not. So let's crack him open. So first, before I actually put the tail in, I just want to show you what it looks like on this figure. So that's the tail piece, or the male part, and that is the female Godzilla part, I guess. Let's see if it goes in nice and easy, or if it gives me a hard time like the NECA Godzilla pieces. And I can say that was a lot easier than the NECA Godzilla pieces. Like that, bam, he's all done. What does this figure have to offer? So first thing I'm noticing is the paint marks on the figure, on the belly and the chest. Don't look too great. They kind of did a sloppy job. Can only ask for so much with a $13 figure. Not saying that the Bayonet Creation stuff in the past that they did was any better, but you can definitely tell this wasn't, you know, all the love and care. Kind of looks like he has scars on his thighs. Kind of looks like instead of burning marks, it's more like a scar, which is interesting. The face really isn't too bad. I'll have some better close-up shots, but the face isn't really too bad on this guy for what he is. I'm actually kind of impressed with the eyes, that they didn't just make it one color. They actually have some depth, quote unquote. So I'm actually impressed with how the face came out. It does resemble Burning Godzilla for sure. It looks like Burning Godzilla. Can't really say the same for the Godzilla Final Wars figure that they came out with, because that is a pile of junk and that should be tossed in the trash. Please never buy that one. That one is horrendous. Same with the Space Godzilla. Looks like they gave him dentures, but this guy, you know, they cut back, they add some detail in his mouth. The teeth aren't awful. They don't look too denture like the Space Godzilla. I know one of the popular things everyone does with reviewing figures is the articulation. So let's look at the articulation for all the boys at home. So my boy Goji rotates his arms that way, and this one goes back and forth. Can get the full twist, but you kind of have to pull a little harder. Both of his hands are in two different positions too. Different pose than even what the Bandais have, the little more high quality ones. This is the first time I'm seeing this rendition of Godzilla in this pose with his hands like that, which is interesting. That's the articulation for the hands. The legs, like all the other figures, can go around 360. That's for both. The tail rotates all the way around, kind of like a cranking machine that you find at Walt Disney that like spits out those penny things. The head, like Exorcist style, goes around 360. And that is all the articulation I can find on this figure. Let's look at the paint a little bit more in depth. His toes are not painted, neither are his fingernails. The other figures in the line Final Wars Godzilla and Space Godzilla both have painted toenails and fingernails. This guy is a little different. He does not. Backplate spines, orange, and once it hits the tail that rotates, they go white, just like the old Bandai figures. But honestly, this guy, for $13, and if you do not have a Burning Godzilla, or if you just want another Burning Godzilla, he is not too bad of an investment. Obviously what you would expect for a $13 figure, but they honestly improved since the Final Wars and the Space Godzilla. This guy actually looks like Burning Godzilla, even though the paint apps are not very detailed, not so much movie accurate either. With $13, you can only expect so much of the paint application and how the figure is gonna actually look. This guy really isn't too bad for the price. On a scale of 1 to 10, I would probably rate him this is for Bandai figures, 6-inch Playmates, Bandai Creations. This is their scale. So 1 out of 10, I would say he's a 6. I would say he's a solid 6. Not awful, but if you're a collector or you just collect all the Playmates or what have it, this guy isn't the worst thing to buy for your collection. I can't fully say I recommend it. $13, you really can't go too wrong. And if you end up not liking it, it was only $13 that you spent. So he is not the worst, for sure. They're definitely worse in the line, the Playmates line. For the Bandai figure and the Bandai Creations, that's kind of hard to say. I don't have them here with me at the moment, but he's definitely not a bad looking figure compared to those guys. The biggest plus I can give this guy is his face. His face definitely looks like Burning Godzilla, and I do like the eyes that they gave him. The biggest con would be the paint applications on his chest and on his front of his body. It's just lazy here, and his thighs look very lazy, and it doesn't look too good. Honestly, if you're a person that customizes figures, you could easily A, make this better, or B, paint over it and just have a regular Heisei looking Godzilla. Maybe paint these, but you could keep the eyes, and it would be a pretty simple job, honestly. But this guy, I would give a 6 out of 10. Can't fully recommend, but if you need a Burning Godzilla or you just want to collect Godzilla, I would pick him up. Next, let's look at the one I am most excited for, is my boy Jet Jaguar. So when this guy got announced a couple months ago, I was over the moon with the announcement. Even though it was Playmates, first impressions, this guy looked great. He was in a dynamic, different pose than all the other Jets I've seen. And the fact that you can walk in a Target and purchase something that is Jet Jaguar related blows my mind. And I don't think I'll be able to really get that out of my head for a while because I'm a massive Jet fan. So don't really have to look at the box since we looked at the Burning Godzilla, but there it says Jet Jaguar, and that's how he looks in the box. So let's take him out and look further. All right, so he is unboxed, and this is my first impression of him in hand. So my first impression is I notice that they did not paint the smile. Usually he has silver and black. He has the silver lines, part of his smile, but it looks a little odd that they didn't paint any black spaces in there like all the other Jet figures look and just how Jet looks in general. So it's just a silver painting on his mouth. His pose, I saw people someone said that they had issues of him standing. So let's see if he stands or not. No, he does not stand very well. Sadly, you cannot pose this guy from the waist down. That's an interesting thing they decide to do. Usually they give these figures articulation. I'm shocked they didn't give him any ankle articulation or in the knees or anything. Not really sure what they were thinking in that regard. Okay, so I cannot get him to stand on his own. So unfortunately, this looks like a figure you're gonna have to always lean against something, and that's kind of a pet peeve of mine. I hate when figures you just can't put down and they would stay because that happens. So you're gonna have to lean him up against something because he falls that way when he's up. The arms and the pose he's in more of a fighting pose that he does show off in the movie, with the kind of open fist and the closed fist, kind of like a karate chop. There hasn't been a Jet figure like this since. This is the first one that he's not kind of just standing upright, regular pose. This is the first figure I can think of that they released besides the little flying Jet Jaguars or the Bandai Premium Jet Jaguar in the flying mode, where he's in a sort of dynamic position such as this. So let's look at articulation now. So his karate chop hand rotates 360. His closed fist hand also rotates 360. And his head spins around. And his torso also spins around. And that is all the articulation on him. 4 points, nothing below the waist, which really should have been added on this figure, especially the ankles. I do not understand why they didn't add anything down there. It is kind of crazy, and I feel like I'm gonna break the figure if I keep toying with it like that. So when you get him, do not twist his legs, because I do feel like I might snap the vinyl if I keep toying with it. Next, let's look at the paint application. Pretty light colored, more of a lighter red and lighter yellow than some of the more brighter colored Jets I have in my collection. They didn't go too hard on the paint applications. He does look exactly like the Jet in the film, which is good, unlike some of the other kaiju they've done where they don't get fully movie accurate with the paint app. I'm not saying this guy is 100% movie accurate, but they did a good job on getting paint where he had to get painted everywhere. And this is the first Jet that is in the 6-inch scale through an American company such as Playmates, being sold in stores like Target and Walmart. Even though he is not perfect, I have to give my recommendations for this Jet. He has standing issues, like I said. He doesn't have articulation in the lower legs, and his mouthpiece also is missing the paint application. So that's really the only spot they missed paint, was his smile, because they should have added some black every other row. And I think I might do that for a personal custom job. I'm gonna buy more than one. I'm gonna have this one loose, I'm gonna have one in the box, and then maybe a third to customize. We'll see what happens. I gave the Godzilla 6. I'm gonna have to give this guy a little higher, not just because I'm a Jet fanboy, so don't pull that. But I'm gonna have to give this guy a little higher. I'm gonna give this guy a 7.5. Solid. He is a solid good buy for $13. A lot of people do not have Jets in their collection because he is kind of a hard figure to get. The Bandai figures are usually above 100. A lot of the other Safubi are pretty hard to come by. They have X+, and the easiest thing you could probably get Jet-wise is they have the little keychains in Series 1, I believe, of those keychain Godzilla figures with the mystery box. So for $13, you better go out to Target sometime soon and get this guy for your collection, because he is a great addition. Before I fully wrap this up, I just want to show a size comparison for the only figure I have with me right now, which is my 8-inch bootleg bra and panty Godzilla, which a coworker did this one day when I was out of the office, but he is the only one I have to work with. He is in the 8-inch scale, and it is a bootleg, but a lot of people do have the Tokyo SOS Bandai Godzilla. So this is how he sizes up compared to those two, and this guy is 8 inches. If Jet could stand better, it would be better, but he's not going to be able to stand. So when he's in your collection, you will probably have to put him against someone like that, and it's a little annoying, like I said, unless you can get a little box or a little stand here that you can put that will help him stand up. Besides that, guys, that is this review for the two new Playmates Godzilla figures, for the Burning Godzilla and the Jet Jaguar in the line. One more time, fully recommend the Jet to everyone and anyone. He's not perfect. There's better Jet figures out there, but for the price point and the availability that they're about to hit all targets, pick him up for sure. He's like the King Caesar that they came out with over about like 10 years ago. That's still a solid figure in the Bandai Creation line, and he was one of the best for sure. So I think Jet's going to be a standout for the upcoming Playmates figures for whatever else they may come out with. I saw some leaks. Apparently, someone posted a long time ago that they may be coming out with a Gorosaurus, possibly a Megalon, I think I remember seeing, and some other kaiju such as that. Jet was on the list in that list a long time ago, and he did come out. So hopefully, if they imagine if they came out with Gorosaurus, Megalon, a lot of those more sort of obscure kaiju that don't really get wide releases like that for 6-inch figures, that would be fantastic. But Jet fully recommends Burning Godzilla. He's okay. I don't fully recommend him, but like I said, if you need a Burning Godzilla, or if you want to replace like maybe your Bandai Creation one, this guy would do a good stand-in. He's definitely one of the best in the Playmates lines. Much better than the Final Wars Godzilla and much better than the Space Godzilla shown on the box. But Jet currently takes the cake for the best Playmates figure I've seen yet. Thank you for tuning in for this very impromptu review. I just bought these figures today and I'm just filming as soon as I got back. So sorry if it seems a little all over the place. I want to get this out as quickly as possible because I know a lot of people are looking for the Jet and the Godzilla in stores right now. So if I can just give my thoughts, kind of maybe help you decide if you want to actually buy them or not, then my job here is done. I appreciate you checking out the video. If you could please subscribe and leave a like, I would greatly appreciate that. I'm trying to reinvent my channel, and so far I'm having a lot of fun making these new videos for you guys. Doing weekly uploads is great. Go follow me on my Instagram at Riots96. I'm interacting with a lot of new fans and a lot of new people that I've never met before, and it's a great time over there, and I have been missing out greatly on not joining the Instagram and kaiju scene like that before. So go follow me, and I'll have some more videos coming out soon. So thank you very much for your time. This is Riots96 signing out.